one of the disgusting cities that he had ever worked in. It was dirty city. He was right. But he retracted that statement. Now the US ambassador, he's asking you, do we expect the US or other government or our partners to come and collect garbage on our behalf? Waste disposal, is that what we are asking the international community to come and do for us? That's the question he's asking you. Your Excellency, are you listening? Did you read that guest editorial? Your Excellency, there are a lot of things there that need to grab your attention, especially with the fight against corruption. Your government is not doing pretty well in the fight against corruption. You have spoken too much. It's now time to act. Your Excellency, there have been a lot of words. The choruses are many, but we want to see concrete actions taken against corruption. That's why your partners are joining us now to raise the red flag. You need to do something. You need to act, and you need to act now. Time is not in our favor, so we're going to stop here, and we're going to continue it tomorrow. We're going to talk more about this, especially the editorial, the guest editorial, the opinion editorial coming from the U.S. ambassador to Liberia. It is very much concerning. Your Excellency, we are concerned, and we side with the U.S. government. And we side with the U.S. government because he stated in that opinion piece that the U.S. government is considering targeted sanctions against individuals. Specifically, he talked about who are involved into corruption, rampant corruption, and nothing is happening with the culture of impunity taking over the country. Your Excellency, we side with that particular statement because this is what we have called for over and over again, and nothing seems to be happening. Now, the international community and other partners are joining us. We want to appreciate them, and we say together we can do this fight, and we can compel accountability from our government, accountability from our people, accountability from all sectors of our country. Thank you so much. We're going to stop here, and then we will go straight over to our guests so that we can start our discussion because time is not in our favor. So let's go to our guests and begin with Obadiah. Obadiah is your first time appearing on this platform, the Integrity Watch radio program. So the radio program is held every Wednesday on Truth 96.1 FM, and the repeat is on Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m. So we say to you, welcome, and tell us about the youth of substance, how is it faring, and what do you do at the youth of substance?
Thanks so kindly once again. Like you rightly said, it's my first time appearing. One way or the other, I've been following the program, sitting at my home. Okay. Like I said, the youth of substance is located within the Peace Island community beyond the ministerial complex. And we are engaged into so many cool things that will bring young people together. And include one, education, as it relates to talking to young people who are in school, telling them some of the challenges, and also engage into cleaning up campaign to see how best we can bring young people together in order to keep our community clean. We are also being engaged into lots of corruption matters. And we say corruption is everybody's business.
The fight against corruption.
The fight against corruption is everybody's business. And one person cannot do it on their own. Like my friend can usually say, each one teach one.
Okay.
And each person can carry out the message to another person too can carry it to another person. Like for me, I'm a classroom teacher. I always encourage my students as it relates to the fight against corruption.
Great. So I will take you to the next point. Okay, let me just give a little background to our listening audience. So the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia is implementing a 3.5-year program. So that program is called the National Integrity Building Anti-Corruption Program. So it covers 7 counties, and under the program, there are different activities that we are implementing. We have the Advocacy and Legal Advice Center that enables citizens to report corruption. We have the Integrity Club that have been established at different universities and creating awareness in high schools and communities. We have the Open Expenditure Forum that brings together people in the counties so that they can be able to talk about in the governance process, developmental project in the counties, in the communities. We have this radio program that we are operating. We currently are trying to disseminate information about the fight against corruption. And then we have this joint civil society and anti-corruption initiative, under which the members who are in studio today have come under this umbrella to talk about activity of JOCSAI. Recently, there was a training held for CSOs and CBOs, that is community local civil society organizations and community-based organizations. So they were trained to join the fight against corruption, and the two our guests in studio today have come under that umbrella. So let's talk about JOCSAI. How do you feel about JOCSAI, Obadiah?
Uh, I feel excited. I feel happy being part of JOSA. And we have a lot to do, like I always tell my colleague, because corruption business, the fight against corruption, it actually need to be done at the fullest.
Okay. Okay, let's go to McLean. The ever potent McLean. Let's hear you. How is it? How do you feel about JOSA, the organization that is bringing CSO, CBOs together to join the fight against corruption?
I thank you very much, and that I want to appreciate the center once more again for this great opportunity. But quickly, before I go to the fire in correction, let me enlighten the public on the work in which the Center for Intellectual Freedom are highly engaged into. Like we always say that, in fact, the Center for Intellectual Freedom is one of the biggest standing parliament you can find in the Fifth Estate. Is a lazum of consciousness, the reservoir of ideas in the Republic of Liberia. We refer to ourselves in the Fifth Estate as the mirror of society, in which we reflect both on the positive and the negative side. And then at the Center for Intellectual Freedom, we escalate issues that is meant to be escalated, verified, condemned issue that is meant to be condemnable, and also give our concrete recommendation on issues that affect Liberia on a daily basis.
Okay.
Like the issue of JOSAT in a partnership with Centite, I believe in my mind is a very great issue, and I can express how grateful the Center for Intellectual Freedom is, and I personally is by forming part of that workshop, educative in the active workshop with CBO, CSO that brought togetherness of the LECC bus, the PPCCC, and other lady boss to also that train us in broaden our ideas on the corruption related matter. But how be it, it is it is welcoming because center alone cannot do all of the fight against corruption. And if you can agree with me, corruption start from the root. And to fight corruption, you got to start it from the root. In starting from the root, you got to start with those CBO, CSO organization that is in close consanguinity connectivities with those guys who have the ability to propagate those corruption issues. Like my good friend brother said, his organization is a local based organization. Sorry if I say local based organization, it's a community
Yeah,
based
of course.
organization. So by Santa bringing those community based organizations on board that will burden the minds and widen the scope on the corruption issue so they can flag the issue in the community. We too ourselves too, who are partners with corruption, our CB, our CSO organization, in working close consanguinity with Center on breaking the march out there, sharpening those contradictions of society. Mind you, the Transparency International, in partnership with Center, brought a report that in fact the most corrupt sectors in Liberia sector is the education sector. I do 100% agree with that because the human capacity is not being fair forwarded to the issue of corruption. That's why you see on the daily basis, we find it difficult to break in the minds of Liberia on corruption. You will agree with us that in fact, if our mother, our fathers in various sectors down the economic trend from the market to the Ghana boards and so on are corrupt. If we go there and talk to them on the issue of corruption, they must somehow look at it to be something unserious. But honestly, it beef or the fight, it left with our consistency, it left with our persistency, real
To the fight against
engagement
corruption.
to the
Thank
fight
you.
against corruption.
Thank you.
And
Thank
one more
you,
thing,
McLean. Thank you, McLean.
one more thing
McLean,
very
we'll
tell
hold you
you.
there. We'll hold you there and we'll go to we have Tom pressing against us, so we'll hold you there. Let's get to Obadiah. Obadiah, how are you as a local or community-based organization going to take the message that Center is looking forward to resonating resonating with the people? How are you going to join the effort to take that message to the people that you interact with, your members, beginning with yourself? How are you going to do that?
Thanks so kindly. One of the things that was done by our center is the issue of training. And when I was trained, I went back to my organization, tried to explain my own experience and some of the things that I have learned there. And actually, I have somebody who is part of the organization who is now letter. So if I told him about if I told him about corruption, I said, why actually me about corruption? He was a little bit confused. I said, in our own librarian way, it's stealing. He said, wow. I said, of course. He said, but how can I help in the fight against corruption? And I'm not letter. I said, you can do it. It does not require you knowing everything. But you can go in your homes that you are controlling, maybe your son, your daughter there, and explain the issue about how we can fight corruption. If something is given to you and that particular thing have to be used the right way, you have to use it the right way. And it's given to a group of people in order to implement it. It should not be taken by you. That's a stealing. And after that, he was like very, very excited, happy, and actually he was overwhelmed. He said, this particular thing that you are saying, I'm going to carry a message to all of my family members in how best to see how they can
So
spread.
yes, great. So usually in Liberia, people who head organizations, especially local organizations, they tend to most of the time run organization on and centered around themselves. Funding for organizations are usually embezzled by leadership of organizations or who are running these organizations. How are you going to have you been doing it differently, and how are you going to improve on it to make sure that there is issue about proper accountability and transparency in how you operate? Because the fight against corruption, everything starts with us. So we must be the change that we want to see, and then we can effect the change around us. So how have you been doing it, and how is it going to be like going forward?
Thanks so kindly. There's a common saying that says, if the house don't sell you, the studio don't buy you. You serving as the head of an institution, and you are 100% engaged into the organization, and you are 100% engaged into this institution, it's 100% correct. Then what more about us? So for this reason, I bring myself down and see how best I can have venture around money. That why we have a structure, we have the financial secretary, we have the chaplain, and everybody have that responsibility. And at a certain point in time, every one of us will give a count. If we have to pay a certain amount, maybe as a fee for our meeting time, and after that, on the last Saturday in every month, you give account, you give report. Oh, we have roughly about 35% in the organization, we have roughly about 25% pay. So this is total amount we have in cover. Then everybody will be knowledgeable to how many data the organization has raised and how we intend to do it, or not being the head and having other officials and things sitting in one secret lake and say, oh man, saying we have about 25% so and so person pay, so they just go about using the money anyhow and no, it won't be correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's come to you. You been part of it. You expressed your excitement, how you are excited to be part of this joint CSO or CBO's initiative, and to propagate the message about anti-corruption to your members and all of that. So, how is it resonating? Because I think we've gone a week since the training. How is the message resonating with your people or the members of the Center for Intellectual Freedom?
Well, I can simply say to you that in fact the message is resonating well with the Center for Intellectual Freedom members, and we have crafted three different things since we left the workshop,
Okay.
and we are working on the Center for Intellectual Freedom Integrity Day in a week, where we will have people from Centard, people from different integrity but Mr. Centard that will visit the center maybe on a Friday. We'll pick Friday exceptional. It's called the Integrity Day, exceptional Friday or program. Pure integrity. We'll call people from Centard, people from any other integrity institution will come at the Center for Intellectual Freedom and warrant a telescope on international on integrity discussion. And not only that too, CIF have given a letter of collaboration to other CSO organizations, including the Center for Exchange of Intellectual Opinion, CO, and also with SEMPI and other guys to see how best we can come together as civil society organization to beef the fight in corruption. So we is something that our whole neck is in. Honestly, our whole neck is in. For even for the leaders to come out and say that in fact we should settle a date set for integrity watch, that's a serious look to the Center for Intellectual Freedom. Yeah.
Thank you. So we want to just give your view. If you want to be part of the program, maybe we can take you for 5 minutes or less. So we can open the line so that you can be part of the program. The numbers to call 077-0175-162, 077-0175-162, or you can call 0886-474-563, 07. Okay, then you can also call the 0886-474-563, 077-0175-162. Those are the numbers to call to be live on the program. Integrity Watch is a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It is aired every Wednesday on Truth 96.1 FM. And the repeat comes on Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m. So today in studio, we have two members of the Joint Civil Society and Anti-Corruption Initiative of the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. Like our guests have said, the fight against corruption requires all of us joining this effort, because it cannot be won by the government alone. It cannot be won by CSOs or CBOs alone. So all of us have to join this fight to ensure that corruption is ended in Liberia. So that is the reason why, under the National Integrity Building and Anti-Corruption Program of the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, we are engaging from all fronts. So we brought together CBOs so that CSOs and CBOs so that they can join the fight. We have the NIF, the National Integrity Forum, that brings together public integrity institutions and CSOs, so that all of us can join this fight. We have engagements with students, we have engagements with community members, we have engagement with the marketers, we have engagements with motorcyclists, we have engagements at all levels, so that we can make sure that we sensitize the people about what corruption is, its manifestations, and how we can identify it and join the fight against corruption. So in studio, we have our two guests in studio. They are talking about their activities. So let's go to Obadiah. Obida, you are from the Peace Island community, and this is one of the communities that is very populated in terms of the people who are living around there. We usually find issue about theft, especially power theft in the communities. How are you helping in terms of sensitizing the people to help the electricity body? We understand that there are problems with the LEC itself, but we have, as citizens, have a mandate to help service delivery, help against, theft or all of these things. How will you help in that process?
Thanks so kindly for that question. Um, LEC have for the first time been introduced in our community last year and this year, actually making it two. And the people of that community have actually cherished LEC to the letter. And from the institution that I'm representing, YOS, for the first time LEC were introduced into our community, we took the initiative to see how best we can carry on awareness as it relates to the safety measure.
Okay.
And like I told anybody, if you pay for something, you enjoy it, but you just get it that type of way, then definitely you just go about using it anyhow and anyway. So for this reason, it's good that you pass through the proper channel. If you recharge your meter and you experience that you don't have money in your meter any longer, you go back to LEC and pay in order for LEC to recharge your meter. At that particular way, you enjoy the service. But going on pool and things, stealing current, all of these things are
It's
actually
bad.
discouraged.
So you've been engaging the community, sensitizing them, about safety and telling them that it is wrong to engage into power theft and all of that. The numbers to call is 077 0886 Those are the numbers to call to be live on the program Integrity Watch. Integrity Watch is a 1 hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It is aired every Wednesday on Truth 96.1 FM. Thanks to the government and people of Sudan through the Swedish International Development Corporation Agency, or SIDA, for this program. They funded the National Integrity Building. They are funding the National Integrity Building and Anti-Corruption Program that is being implemented in 7 counties, under which all of these activities are being carried out. We can take a call in on a few seconds, just 077 0175162, 077 Those are the numbers to call to be live in the program. So Obadiah Jito is from Youth of Substance, and McLean Randa is from the Center for Intellectual Freedom. So the both of them they are in studio today, and we are talking about how they have been part of JOCSAI. So JOCSAI is the joint Civil Society Anti-Corruption Initiative of the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. Let's go to our guest. Let's McLean.
Yeah.
Let's hear you get your party comments so that we can call it a day.
Thank you. Let me start with the work of deterrence.
Mhm.
Yeah. Deterrence will play a major role in the fight against corruption. I said to say that, in fact, when you're having the burst of crowd of international partners, ranging down from EU, Madam Banks, and then the US Ambassador McCarthy, raising the red flag that, in fact, Liberia must do well in the fight against corruption. In fact, the corruption sector is the fighting corruption from the government angle is weak. Deterrence. Those guys who are in offices that is circulating and swimming in corruption. If there is a law that says that, in fact, if you do this, you go to jail for this purpose, that deterrence will flow down the train. That the younger generation tomorrow will see and say, no, SYZ did this, and then SYZ was penalized. Action was taken, and SYZ was penalized.
Yes.
So, if we cannot set the basic of deterrence, I believe in my mind, we will still be wide open and gotta be on the issue of corruption. Quickly to the issue of LECs.
I think we don't have time, so we'll hold you there and go to Obadiah. Obadiah, let's get you.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. It's a pleasure again appearing on one of the final radio stations. Like my colleague have said, the issue of deterrent or like say punishment. I think one of the law that have been put into place, maybe if you are fall into corruption and then leave the country after 5 years, if you return then you can go scot-free. I think actually have to work.
Statute of limitation.
Yeah, the statute of limitation. Actually have to work on that. Even if you spend about 20-25 years caught into corruption, if you come back to this country, I think you should be penalized. And after that, it will actually show or hinder or sound to other people who they will not really like to get.
It's going to deter them from getting involved into the act of corruption. So McLean Renda is from the Center for Intellectual Freedom. Obadiah T. Dito is from the Youth of Act Substance. So the both of them have been in studio and been talking about JOCSAI activities of recent and going forward. My name is Sam Zota, and the program you've been listening to is for the watch the 1 hour program working on accountable transparency and accountability. Matt Wanda and Marilyn Wanda have been camera making sure our visibility goes beyond. Join us next week for another edition of the program. Let us see Sunday, 9 to 10 p.m.